Guys, I just watched UFC 318 presser and I am so disappointed. Now, first of all, welcome to the channel, everybody. I had to get this video out immediately. If you guys have been watching the UFC for some time and are a big fan like me, you probably tune into all the pressers. And they haven't been the most exciting as of late. Obviously, when we go back to really historic pressers where there was just, you could feel the energy, you could feel the hatred between the fighters. There was actual rivalries, actual beefs. We go back to things like Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. I mean, that energy was palpable. Obviously, Conor versus Khabib was crazy, but we've even had Khamzat Chimaev back in the day, spice up pressers. We've had so many awesome pressers and interactions between fighters historically that I think that's what we're all craving. That's what we all want. That's why we tune in to see if there's something really cool and worthwhile going down. But specifically, the most exciting, tantalizing interactions are usually when people are legitimately beefing. Think about Paddy versus Ilya back in the day. And generally, we can't, whether or not there's a beef is not rest on the media members that come to the pressers, right? That has nothing to do with them. That has to do with the fighters. But if there is a legitimate beef that does present itself, that maybe the press team or the media members weren't aware of initially, but they see it and they don't jump on it and they don't dig deeper, that's where I tend to get a little bothered. And I feel like that's what happened here. Look, I have Oscar Willis right up here on the screen. Actually, he's the one that gets credit for actually asking the right question and bringing out this beef. But I just don't understand how journalists that were asking questions after Oscar Willis didn't follow up on the beef. And maybe it's not even the media members' fault, because maybe they have to submit questions ahead of time and they can't deviate from a particular script. I don't know how it works at these presses, but I just got to say, I was so disappointed that we finally potentially had something really pop off at a presser and get really interesting and exciting, and the opportunity was totally missed. Is this because media members weren't paying attention? I doubt it. Is it because the UFC maybe is requiring them to ask previously submitted questions? Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. But either way, I had to vent my frustration. I was like, oh, we almost had something so good, and it just didn't get explored. Now, the last thing I'll say is the beef involved Daniel Zellhuber, which is awesome because Daniel Zellhuber is the man. Not only did he have a crazy fight at UFC Noche, but I got to train alongside him. Let me say that, not with him, but I got to train alongside him at Extreme Couture about almost 2 weeks ago. I did a private session there, and he was sharing the cage with me, him and Eric Nixig. And yo, that guy is crazy. I think he's going to smash Michael Johnson. It's going to be nuts. That dude is so good. Not taking anything away from Michael Johnson, just Zelhuber, man, he is just so well-rounded, but his striking and on top of his length and his reach and everything, like that dude is terrifying at 155. Anyways, check out this moment where we almost had press conference gold and it was squandered after the fact. Check this out.
Michael Johnson loves getting into brawls and getting into firefights. Do you have to steer clear of that, or are you willing to meet him in the middle and trade off? Yeah. Are you willing to brawl with Michael Johnson?
Oh, could you repeat the question? Sorry, brother.
Are you willing to brawl with Michael Johnson, or are you going to try and keep this fight more technical?
Oh, no. I'm here to knock him out in 1 round, bro.
Ah, you lying ass motherfucker.
That's the whole game plan, bro. So, I mean, I'm ready for 3 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever rounds it is. I'm the younger fighter, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the fight.
Michael, yesterday at Media Day, you said that he had some scumbag tactics to get this fight and that he's been a little cocky leading up to it. How excited are you to show that experience can still beat youth?
Yeah, I'm out here looking forward to show this little young buck some lessons in here. He's young, but he's a little too cocky and he's running his mouth too much. So,
but this is the funny thing, because he have been here for almost 30 fights. He get himself fighting.
Who are you?
Shit.
How many fights you got?
That's the point, bro.
Why you got 3-4 fights in the UFC? Relax.
Bro, I'm talking shit and you are sitting in your corner, so it works. So shut the fuck up and just show up.
I don't even understand what you said. Like, repeat yourself? I think you're just trying to talk yourself into a fight. Like, you're probably a fan of mine. You grew up watching me fight.
I grew up watching him.
I know, that's your obsession with me. I think it's a little gay, but it's okay. You're fine.
Question for Kevin Holland. Kevin, this fight was obviously booked before. Oh, you want them to carry on? This fight was obviously booked.
Did you see Oscar? He heard the crowd. They wanted them to keep going. He said, "Oh, you want them to carry on?" But then he continued with his question. So look, we've had Oscar on the show. Oscar's a really, really bright guy. I guarantee you, the thought did occur to him maybe to go back to, but I mean, he asked the question, right? It shouldn't be him that follows up. I would hope that another media member that's asking a subsequent question or whatever down the line is going to pick up on that and go back to the well and go back to these guys, but it didn't happen. So Oscar Willis then goes on to ask, I think, Kevin Holland a question.
Before, but now you're on a decent run here. How different do you think this?
Okay, so we have Kevin Holland, I think, respond.
Looking good.
Be a dog that night.
You up next? Yeah, go ahead.
Question for Dan Ige.
And then this guy's asking Dan Ige a question. Like, no offense to Dan Ige, but we have gold there. Otherwise, we're going to have more of these, like, boilerplate questions with traditional answers and nothing real. Man, like, they had something. And what was cool is they were like, it was actually really good. I guess Daniel Zelhuber, I didn't know this, but I guess he got the fight by talking a lot of smack to Michael Johnson. And then Michael Johnson's like, you're a little egotistical. You talk too much smack. And that's why you get this fight. He's like, yeah, but you used to do the same thing. You used to get all your fights by talking smack to people. So he's like, I'm just doing this. You know what I mean? And they're going back and forth. Like, and then you have Daniel Zelhuber with that cocky smile on his face. And Michael Johnson wants to teach. I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest feud of all time, but it's something. It's something that could have been awesome. And as much as I love Dustin Poirier and I love Max Holloway, that's more about the fight. You know, I'm not so interested in what they have to say to each other because you know it's going to be, they're going to have a friendly demeanor to each other because of all the respect that's there, which is awesome. And I still think the fight is going to speak for itself. It's going to be amazing. But let's be real. Like, you can ask some questions and stuff like that, but it's not going to be the exciting meat of the presser. They had it, and they just didn't go in on it. Anyways, I was just bummed out because I really wanted to hear more from Daniel Zelhuber. On top of that, he had one of the best fights of 2024, if not the best fight, against Esteban Rivovich. If I'm, however, I can't remember if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but that was at UFC No Chase. Like, dang, man, this kid's a rising prospect, a rising star. Anyways, I digress. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you also feel the same way, or did you like the presser? Did you like all the questions to Dustin, to Max, to Paulo Costa, etc.? I would have liked to hear Kevin Holland speak more as well. He's on a major comeback. He's crushing it. The odds are super in his favor. Anyways, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.